Hey guys, I wish you all a very prosperous and happy 2026. I mean, will things get worse? Probably, but I don't see a reason why we shouldn't aim to be better and reasonably prepared for whatever will for things to come. I predict a whole lot of crazy shit if 2025 was any indication. This video is here as a shout out and a sign of life. I have mentioned in my goodbye video that I would quit Dark Basic, the game creator style engines forever. And seeing how things have evolved in those communities, I feel like I made the right choice for me. At the right time, maybe even a little late. Now, I don't have any new projects to announce or anything big like that, as I have been busy renovating my house. I have a house now that was built in the 1930s, and there's a whole lot to do. Challenging stuff for me, but that is probably not all that interesting to you guys. I have started to learn Unreal Engine 5. I mean, for real, from the ground up this time. I've been doing some test levels, one more advanced one is on display right now. This is without Lumen or Nanite. There's no baked lighting either, this is just brute force dynamic lighting on a somewhat low fidelity setting, which is why the reflections are kind of off and it looks a little bit odd. But I still had a lot of fun dabbling with the editor and my props again. With all the possibilities you have in this engine. You may have noticed that I had a rather large Unreal Engine 5 project a few videos back named Spectre. There's a Game Guru version as well, but I think we can bury that one. Now I have to admit, I just kinda rolled into this industrial grade engine with the plan to make a fully rounded first-person shooter game campaign. That quickly grew over my head and kinda just overwhelmed me when it came to AI and gunplay, because I wanted to have like reasonably high standards, you know. Detailed weapon animations, the different animations if the magazine was completely empty and so on. And I'm trying to avoid making this kind of mistake again, to like have a way too large scope for me. So I was looking at blueprint packs and trying to learn new things from the ground up this time. So I can really start working on a project that is fun and challenging, but also doable and realistic, and not just an impossible time sink like this 16 level FPS campaign idea with all the bells and whistles I tried to do in my first Unreal Engine game. So far I have enjoyed the process and feel a lot more confident being able to do small games that will take maybe 1 or 2 hours to complete. I also find that expectations and standards of just like gamers out there have risen so far lately that maybe that 1 hour is the sweet spot to ask of someone's attention. I mean, a lot of the gamers that are grown adults now, they didn't grow up with 3D really coming to be. They are pretty much used to good graphics, to good gunplay, to smooth controls. I mean, hell, the original Crysis came out in 2007. You know. This map in the background I'm about to show more in detail was initially conceived to be such a short game. I think you can tell in the interior parts that you're about to see, but once I got to the outer section and messed with the mechanics a little bit more, I realized that I have a lot to learn and made this kind of a playable, like playground testing area project. And when I finished making it and tried to package it, I had an error. So I can't offer it for download right now. That's very reminiscent of the olden days with FPS Creator. You know, the runtime errors and all that. Yeah, so I have to figure that one out first, and let's see if I succeed. I should be able to climb up here. Yeah, this early part was supposed to be a bit of a first release with a little story to it, but I wasn't ready for that yet. Here and now we just have me learning to work with the blueprints from SB Games FPS Kit, which I really recommend. It's well made, well documented, and easy to get into. Tried modifying them and graphics to it. You will probably recognize a few of the weapons that I imported here. But I also have enemies, etc. now, all thanks to SB Games. I want to get to a place where I can confidently create gameplay of my own, especially environment interactions in Blueprint. while I will probably rely on a system like this for AI framework and for the player controller, I hope to get proficient enough that I can modify these things and kind of polish them, but I'm probably not going to write my own AI. My goal are short, story-driven games. Can't make any predictions, but I see that my friend Duchencube, for example, is enjoying smaller games too in this engine. And I remember Rolfie, who ended up making a really large and complicated Gothic fantasy game in Unity. And hey, I think I should be able to do something small of my own as well. Maybe something in the horror adventure vein of games. Kind of going back to the roots there while keeping it short and snappy. I think my old large projects were all a bit lofty. Of course, my games were always great in my mind and it was all going to work out. But even if I had managed to finish my older FPS Creator Game Guru projects, having a 15-level Game Guru game to get through would have probably lost most players' interest. Now that I look at it with a bit of distance, maybe. I'm just thinking of my game Scythian Renegade, which takes a bit over an hour to complete, but was planned to be 5-ish hours long initially. And now looking back, it probably would have been hard to keep that fresh using such clunky technology and with all the text-based dialogue and other inconsistencies. It would not have quite been what I had envisioned in my mind when I had the idea, and in 2026 players just have very different standards to what they find engaging. Like when indie gaming started, even the first source mods people were expecting a lot less. This is a hobby that requires a lot of compromise. We all know that. I would probably be better off writing pulpy sci-fi novels, but I just love 3D and working in 3D. And the Unreal Engine is the best available solution for that on the market right now. I just wish I had the thought to, number one, compromise on the scale of my ambitions, and to be a bit more confident in my ability to learn. Maybe more patient, and I really wish I would have stuck with Unreal Engine 3 with Unreal Development Kit, UDK, back when I was working with that. Simply because I feel that while my FPS Creator games are neat little artworks, at least to me, in this 21-year-old technology, but most of my Game Guru games, most of my Game Guru output was pretty crappy. And yeah, kind of uninteresting for anyone who wasn't also into this kind of niche engines. I am reasonably happy with the last project I made in it, and I will probably upload a developer commentary track and a video in 32:9 aspect ratio, for LARC mostly. But yeah, while I was using that tag, I mean, Game Guru, I always felt that it was possible to do something big in it, something nice. But I'm now willing to admit that my large project, like, in case you're familiar, like Shavera or Spectre, were really a waste of time. Time that I could have invested in the more realistic projects that may have come out, that aren't just like galleries of screenshots on the internet that no one is going to look at anymore. But I'm optimistic for the future. Let's see what the future will bring, what I can do in this engine, and I hope that some of you will tune in to see that and join me. I will be uploading more stuff to this channel too. I made this video to not let the channel die, but also to talk to everyone who still follows me on here, because with the passage of time and how social media and tech have changed, I no longer have the contact info for quite a few of you. Yeah, I'll still be making games in 2026. By this point, it's just something I do, I guess. Oh, and there will be a new website available soon, with all my old games available for download. I guess if I were more of a pro, or at least a bit better organized, I would have had that up before I made this video so I could link it. But I guess I now have to make a follow-up video. Anyway, take care, guys.